so I'm reading now. I walked on past the dry riverbed and up its other side. I thrust through an endlessness of shrubs, marveling how I was all alone in the forest. I felt a mischievous thrill that I was an African walking by myself in the wilds of Europe. But the forest was deceiving and tiring, leading me to what seemed to be its end, only to repeat itself. More trees, more winding paths to walk through. Finally, I saw a windmill and an old house, and I walked to it. Past it was the tarmac road, which was wide and seemed to lead on, and definitely not to rest. I walked along till I discovered a footpath that ran against it to a section of rundown houses, with goats tied outside and chickens clucking about. I looked up and saw two rats, rising with postcard picture gloriousness on a jutting piece of rock, with a wondrous, fairly complete Roman aqueduct reaching towards it from the valley beside the rock. But I couldn't, for the life of me, see a path that would lead me to it. I retraced my steps and meandered about, hoping I had enough of a repository of French to ask for directions. I saw a woman step out of a gate and I shouted a bonjour at her, followed by a request in halting and obviously terrible French on how I could get to Tourette's. She froze and stepped back inside her gate, closing it. I wondered if she was scared of seeing a black man, as a number of people had generously been in one Parisian night. But then she opened the gate and walked out with a tall black man with long, great locks of hair. The man walked to me and said he spoke little English, gesturing negatively with his hands. We tried what we could once more, speaking over our phones, which marvelously failed with the translations. A young girl of secondary school age and presumably the woman's daughter walked over. She said she was now learning English in school and could listen to me better. But she was yet to learn enough English to direct someone lost outside her home and wanting to get to Tourette's. Finally, the man gestured the act of turning on the engine to a bike and said repeatedly, "Scooter, scooter." I nodded avidly, and minutes later, I was behind him on his scooter as he winded up the tarmac road, round and round, till we reached the rocky rampart where the passage leading inside Tourette's stood. He parked his scooter and pointed at the town, saying in English, "This is what you want."